Hi everybody, welcome to the explanation of the Taj Mahal reading quiz. Hopefully if there were some questions that you didn't get correct, then by watching this video, you know where you went wrong. And even if you got all the answers right, to be honest, it's really useful for you to watch the video because I'm going to be explaining how to approach the questions, how to look for words in the question, how to find those words in the passage. So it'd be really great if everybody can watch the video and just learn some of the process for answering questions. So question number one, what city is the Taj Mahal in? Now we start at the beginning of the passage. The Taj Mahal is a white tomb built in the 17th century by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. Nothing about a city. Remember, a city is going to be a place name, so we should be looking for capital letters, and the only capital letters that we've seen here are people's names. The building is in the city of Agra. Now there's a comma, and then it says Uttar Pradesh. So what we can guess that is that the city name is going to be Agra, and the province name is going to be Uttar Pradesh, like saying Mesot is in Tak province, or Mewadi is in Karen state. So for this question, you should have written down the word Agra. If you wrote down Agra, Uttar Pradesh, then you're wrong because the question is only asking you which city is the Taj Mahal in, not where is it, not what province. So you need to make sure that you do read the questions very carefully and you only give the answers that are relevant to the question. Question number two, who? Who was the manager of the construction? Let's continue in where we left off. Widely thought as one of the most beautiful buildings in the world, it is one of India's biggest tourist attractions. Nothing about construction. The Taj Mahal is an example of Mughal architecture, a mixture of building design ideas from Islamic, Indian, Persian, Old Iran, and Muslim arts. The Taj Mahal was constructed with materials from all over the world, and over 20,000 people were used to move building materials. Again, there's nothing about a name there. There's no capital letters apart from Taj Mahal and Muslim. It is generally thought that Ustad Ahmed Lahori was in charge of the construction. So construction links to the last word in the question. In charge, well, in charge means to control, and manager also means to control. So it's another word for this manager. So the name would be here, Ustad Ahmed Lahori. Now remember, you're not answering in full sentences. You're just writing down the answer for the question, the phrase or the word that answers the question. So for question 2, you should have written down Ustad Ahmed Lahori. Question 3. How many people were needed to transport the building materials? Now, I think if we go back one sentence, still in this second paragraph, but if you just go back to the sentence before, we'll see something. We see the Taj Mahal was constructed with materials. Okay, so we have building materials from all over the world. Over 20,000 people were used to move the building materials. Now, move is another word for transport, and then we have the building materials again. So we're looking for a number, and the number would be here, 20,000 people. But if you read carefully, it says over 20,000 people. That means more than 20,000 people. So for question 3, you should have written down over 20,000. If you only wrote down 20,000, then it's not quite accurate because the passage is saying it is more than 20,000. So maybe 20,001, 20,100, but more than 20,000. So you do need to make sure that you're accurate when you're answering these questions. Question 4. When, so we're looking for a time, was the building project complete? Well, the last sentence of this second paragraph says the construction. So the construction links to building project, was finished, and finished links to the word complete in 1653. So the answer for question 4 is 1653. You don't need anything else, you just need to write down the year. And this is a type of question that came up several times in week 1. So hopefully you've learned from any mistakes that you were making and you have got this question correct now. Question 5. How many people visited the Taj Mahal between 2014 and 2017? Now, if you look at this first sentence in paragraph 3, it says the Taj Mahal had 2 million visitors, that's 2 million people, in 2001. But 2001 is not answering this question because 2001 does not match 2014. But then it says in 2014 to 2017, which is the same year as it's in the question, there were more than 7 to 8 million visitors. So the answer should be more than 7 to 8 million. If you wrote 7 to 8 million, then I suppose it's okay this time because it's not saying 7 million, it's saying the passage is actually a little bit confusing. It's saying between 7 and 8 million, and then it says more than 7 to 8 million. So it's not clear. Is it more than 7 million, less than 8 million, or more than 8 million? Because the passage is not very clear, I would allow 7 to 8 million or more than 7 to 8 million. Now, for questions 6 to 12, we are looking at true and false. The Taj Mahal was built by the wife of Shah Jahan. Well, the Taj Mahal was built in the 17th century by the Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife. So this says built by his wife, but the passage says it was built by the emperor to remember his wife. Perhaps his wife had died and he wanted to build a building or a statue or something to remember his wife by. So we should have answered false. It was built in the memory of his wife, not by his wife. So you do need to read the question carefully. 7. The building was designed using a pure Indian style. Well, as we were going through this second paragraph, it says a mixture of building ideas, a mixture. Pure means only one. But here we have a mixture. Islamic Indian, Persian, Muslim arts. It tells you 3 different styles or 3 different cultures where the ideas or the style came from. So it's not pure. You know, somebody who's Karen, whose parents are Karen, whose grandparents are Karen, they are pure Karen. Somebody whose father is Shan and whose mother is Karen, they are not pure Karen, they are mixed. So the answer is false. Question 16. Materials from many different countries were used to build the Taj Mahal. Well, the Taj Mahal was constructed with materials from all over the world. The key here is all over the world. Many different countries, different parts of the world, all over the world. So for question number 8, you should have written down the answer true. They are from all over the world, so they are from many different countries. Question 9. More people visited the Taj Mahal in 2001 than between 2014 and 2017. So we need to compare the two numbers. There were 2 million in 2001, and between 2014 and 2017, there were more than 7 to 8 million visitors. We've been looking at this in mathematics recently, comparing numbers, saying which number is greater. Well, we should know that 7 to 8 is greater than 2. So the answer must be false. Less people visited the Taj Mahal in 2001 than between 2014 and 17. Question 10. The Agra Fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but the Taj Mahal is not. The Agra Fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Taj Mahal is not. So let's have a look. starting here. Many people think it is one of the most beautiful buildings ever built. It is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Well, what is it? So we need to go back to the previous sentence. The subject in the previous sentence is the Taj Mahal. So when we're talking about the next sentence beginning with it means the subject from the previous sentence. So the Taj Mahal is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Together with the Agra Fort, 2.5 kilometers away. Together with means that they are both listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. UNESCO is a United Nations department that deals with special cultural sites, places all over the world that have a cultural significance that need to be protected for future generations. And so the answer is false. The answer is false because they are both listed, not only one is listed. Question 11. The Indian courts are trying to protect the Taj Mahal. However, it is slowly being damaged by acid rain. A nearby oil refinery has been blamed for some of the damage. In 1996, the Indian Supreme Court said that local industry was harming it. The court set up an area around the Taj Mahal called the Taj Trapezium Zone. Industries in this area must use natural gas and not coal to prevent the blackening of the white walls. So the Supreme Court, is trying to protect the Taj Mahal by saying that people who have factories close to the Taj Mahal are not allowed to burn coal. They must use natural gas, which is cleaner for the environment. The answer for this question is true. Because they've made a law to try and stop environmental damage, then the answer must be true. The color of the Taj Mahal is changing because of pollution. Well, it says industries near the zone must use natural gas instead of coal to prevent the blackening of the white walls. So this is something that we can infer. Why do factories near the Taj Mahal now need to use natural gas? Well, in the past, they used coal. In the past, the white walls become dirty or they become more black. So, in the past, up until today, the color of the Taj Mahal has been changing because of the pollution from the burning of coal. So the answer for this question must be true. Now, this was a short practice, and I hope that you're becoming more comfortable with the idea of true and false, and that you always remember you need to get your idea from the passage, not from your own imagination. Now, on Tuesday this week, we're going to focus on grammar, but on Wednesday, there's going to be another reading practice. So if you've got a few questions wrong this time, make sure you go back, that you watch the video and you look at the passage again, and that you try to understand any of your mistakes before you take the next quiz. Don't worry if you do make mistakes. You can only improve by making mistakes. But the important thing is that if you make a mistake, that you try to understand why you made that mistake, and then you try to correct it next time. Keep studying, and hopefully we'll see you all soon.